So if you find yourself in some sort of a situation, then the first thing that you have to do is to think whether you can influence or change that situation. If you can't, then it's a situation which is indifferent, and that means it's not bad and it's not good at the same time. Because if a situation or basically something happens to us, we don't make that happen, but it happens to us. You could say the weather, for example. If it starts to rain, then it's not something we can influence, and somebody will look at that weather as something that's bad, because you can't really go outside, you can't really do anything, and it's depressing and so on. Whereas the other person who loves rain will say that they can enjoy it on their balcony and relax whilst it's raining. And so that situation is indifferent, because someone can see it as something great, whereas another person could see it as something bad. And so what that means is that we are the ones who create that perception of that situation, and we create that idea whether it's bad or good. And so we have full control over how we look at that situation. We can't control that situation, but we can control how we look at it. And I am just reading a book about Stoicism, so there will be probably future videos connected to that ideology. But I wanted to mention this because it's a huge thing, and many of us have already understood it because it's common sense, but we just have to get reminded of it, because it's something we always forget. Like somebody does something to us, or somebody makes us angry on the road, and we get pissed off right away because they did something stupid. And like most of the time there is no reason for us to be pissed off, and it's just that the second thing which we have to do, the first one being that we realize or think through whether that situation is something we can control or if it's something we can't. Because if we can control it, we can change the situation, and so there is nothing to really think about. Whereas when we can't control that situation, there is nothing we can do about it, so why be pissed off? Or why be annoyed about the fact that we can't control that situation? When instead we can literally change our overall perception and enjoy the situation, even though it might, like, in general not be enjoyable. We can still enjoy it, because we are the ones that create. You could actually say we control our emotions, and so why should we be angry about the situation that we can't control? Like, whenever there is something we can't control, we should just ignore it, accept it, and I don't know, maybe even feel great about it. We don't have to be pissed off right away, because then we only harm ourselves about something that's irrelevant, because what we can't control is irrelevant to us, right? And so what I want you to take from this video is that what I have just explained is a wonderful concept, but I wanted to mention something else as well. And that is, always try to look for opportunity in that situation. Like, what can I do in the situation that I can currently find myself in? And so what I mean by that is, for example, I don't really enjoy hiking, like in the mountains, because for me it's somewhat monotonous, and I don't really enjoy the mountains which we have like in the country where I live. And even though you can always see me in nature, that is a bit different, because I love hiking in the nature and just around where I live, in the hills, as you can see. I just find this super relaxing, super calming, as well as it's just beautiful. But for some reason I don't really enjoy hiking in the mountains. Maybe it's because of the discomfort which it provides, you could say, because if you go for long hikes, then it actually becomes difficult, and so there is some sort of a level of discipline in that. But basically I don't really enjoy hiking, and what I want to say is that always try to look for an opportunity or a way how you can use that situation to your advantage, or you can always ask yourself a question like, what's the opportunity here? So I am in the mountains, I'm hiking, there isn't really much to think about, So what's the opportunity here? Well, there isn't, or there aren't many opportunities, or there weren't in my situation, but I have changed my perception and changed it to thinking that this discomfort is something that will make me grow, basically. As simple as that. And so I started hiking not for the fact, or not for the reason of enjoying it, but basically going through that pain, going through that discomfort, because I know it will provide me with the benefits of withstanding that discomfort. And so you can always change your perception of that situation. If, I know, something bad happens, it's fully on you if you will think of it as something bad, because you can always find some sort of a benefit in any kind of situation, because even if you can't really think of any, like, I will call it physical benefit, you can always find one single benefit from, you could say, every situation, and that is you have learned a lesson from it, and also you can say that you have grown as a person because you have gone through that situation. And so you can always find at least that one single benefit from any kind of a bad situation. But as I mentioned, those situations aren't bad. We are the ones that think of them as being bad. And so hopefully you got the main idea of this lesson. I don't know why I made it so long, but the main point is basically you can always influence how you think about a certain situation. Because I'm not sure who said it, I believe it was Marcus Aurelius, that the one thing which is 100% ours and we can do whatever we want with it is our mind, are our thoughts, basically. And so in whatever kind of a situation you can find yourself in, if you find yourself suffering, then you are suffering just because you have created that situation, or you look at that situation as something to be suffering in, when instead you can change your perception and you will actually stop suffering. And it's easier said than done, that's for sure. I am still trying to implement this ideology, but I believe it's just wonderful. So I wanted to share it with you, even though I will probably mention it in my future videos as well. And so if you have any question, you can always comment down below. We can start the discussion. I will try to answer all of the comments if there will be any. And if you have enjoyed this kind of a video, then you will enjoy this one as well. So why not click on it?